Has this ever happened to you? Oh, hey, it's a new community post from LS Mark about that podcast he does with his wife, Veronica. Oh, and it's about MatPat leaving YouTube. I wonder what the comments have to say about that. Let's just open up the comment section and...
It's sad to see how with a thumbnail like that. How she broke her heart and she will do it again.
OMG.
MatPat is doing something like Mark's community post just the same, man.
Dear God! On January 2nd, 2023, YouTuber Just Stop released a video about YouTuber LS Mark's relationship with YouTuber Veronica Gallardo. If you're taking a shot every time I say the word YouTuber, you should probably stop that before you die. In Just Stop's video, he brings to light what he sees as a toxic relationship, as he thinks that Mark has developed an emotional dependency towards Veronica, and it's blinding him from her obvious flaws and toxic traits. The video is full of receipts and anecdotal evidence that I really don't have time to get into right now, so I'd highly recommend you go watch it yourself, except for the fact that you'll need to find a re-upload because the original was taken down. At the end of the day, Just Stop is allowed to feel however he feels about Mark and Veronica's relationship, and if he feels the need, he can voice those concerns to Mark. But by publicly disclosing all of this information, he opened up a bit of a Pandora's box in a sense, because now nobody will shut the hell up about this shit. Anyone who's heard the name LS Mark feels the need to weigh in on the situation, and seems intent on harassing Mark about it every chance they get. Some people are just being assholes, which as I'm sure you know is very rare on the internet. But other people seem to genuinely think they're helping Mark with their comments. If you fall into either of those groups, this video is for you. Or if you don't, please don't click off the video, I'm begging. Before we start, as always, I'd hope it goes without saying, but don't harass anybody that I mention in this video. I don't think I have enough of a following to cause a hate brigade, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So like I just said, I find that the people pestering Mark over his relationship fall into two key categories, and I'm here to tell you why both of them are wrong. Let's start with the easy one. In this corner, we have the assholes. Plenty of people see this whole thing as easy ammunition to make fun of a person they think is cringe. What a unique and novel idea. These comments include such gems as, LS Cuck. Was MatPat the other guy? With a thumbnail like that, how can someone not make a joke about Mark and Veronica? The thumbnail in question, of course, being this. Did she sleep with that guy, too? Now this one's actually referring to... Nope, it's just Springtrap again. I think you get the idea. Honestly, this group doesn't really require that much explanation. They're taking the piss out of the guy because they see an easy target. It's a tale as old as Twitter, and as much as it sucks, it really isn't all that surprising. If you fall into this group, you suck, and I hope you drop your phone on your face while doom scrolling tonight. Do people still say doom scrolling? But what's this? In the other corner, we have our challenger, the self-righteous do-gooder. Am I being mean? I think I'm being mean. So yeah, aside from the people who know they're being little shits, you've also got people commenting on the situation that seem to genuinely think they're doing the right thing, which in my opinion is honestly worse. With the incessant hate comments, it's easy to just dismiss them as people being rude because internet. But with the second group, I think the comments unintentionally hit way closer to home. Like, look at this one, for example. It's sad to see how low Mark will go for love. To date someone who cheated on you, told you your animated pilot would fail, who is a bad person. Mark should just make a podcast by himself or with some friends. Free my boy Mark. Clearly, this person thinks they're looking out for Mark. They think that this kind of comment would help him, I guess, because they obviously want him to get help, considering they end with the phrase, free my boy Mark. But, like, just look at the opening line. It's sad to see how low Mark will go for love. Does that sound supportive to you? Like I've said, I'm not here to discuss whether or not Mark is in a toxic or emotionally abusive relationship. But if he is, berating him for it is not going to help him leave. And there are so many comments like this. I only just feel bad for Mark. His self-esteem is so low that he dates someone who cheated on him and trash-talked his animated pilot. Again, if he is in a toxic relationship, who in their right mind is going to think that calling out his low self-esteem could possibly help the situation? Not only is that victim blaming, but a relationship like that could be incredibly difficult to get out of, and undermining the poor man's confidence with statements like that is just going to make it more difficult for him to leave. There's also the fact that in Just Stop's video, if you consider that to be a reliable source, Mark has been shown to respond poorly when people bring up any toxicity in his relationship with Veronica. Honestly, I can understand this, because whether you think he has an emotional dependency or he really loves her, it makes sense that he would shut out anyone who's trying to talk shit about her. That being said, comments like, why are you still with that girl? She cheated on you and she will do it again, OMG, ew, are not helpful in the slightest. Not only is this going to make Mark less likely to listen, but it's also just entirely unproductive. Mark already knows his own situation, at least better than you would know it, so informing him of the stuff Veronica has done is not giving him any new information. It's just spamming random noise in his comment section and making him less likely to listen. And again, these kinds of comments are not hard to come by. Dude, she cheated on you and manipulated you. You shouldn't be with her. Leave her. Didn't she cheat on you and tell you your animated pilot would fail? Why do you still even date her? Why have a podcast with a partner that will probably cheat on you again? To summarize this group, I think there are two main issues with these trying to help comments. First of all, talking badly about Veronica seems to only shut down the conversation and is basically entirely unhelpful since he's already aware of all the stuff these comments are pointing out. Secondly, berating him and telling him that he's weak or cowardly for staying in this relationship can only serve to make it harder for him to leave. Like, imagine saying that to a person's face. Imagine telling your friend to their face, "Wow, I can't believe that you're in a toxic relationship. You have such low self-esteem for staying with that person, and I can't believe you don't have the balls to leave her." In what world is that a helpful statement? And again, I'm not here to say whether or not Mark and Veronica's relationship is toxic, but if it is and he really should leave, these comments are not going to help him make that step. At the end of the day, this is a situation that none of us were supposed to know about. That's the main issue that I have with Just Stop's video. Even if everything he said is completely true, it just wasn't his information to share publicly. In my opinion, he never should have uploaded it, and even though the original video was taken down, the damage is already done. What I'm saying is, just because this situation is somewhat out in the open now, doesn't mean that any of us are justified in commenting on it. It's not our place, it's not our business, and we're only making things worse by sending barrages of comments towards Mark. And finally, Mark. I highly doubt you're going to watch this video, but if you do, here's my advice to you. Ignore my advice. Ignore the advice of all these random internet commenters who think they know what's best for you. All I would urge you to do is give your situation some genuine, objective, critical thought. Listen to the people in your life who actually know you. Take their advice to heart. And whatever decision you come to, it's none of my business. And with that, I think it is time to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. And always remember to stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay humble, because at the end of the day, we are all just airheads. Have a good night, everyone.